Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late August 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me about the Cappies. What's happening as we move towards Virgo season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a look at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies. Late August, what are the energies looking like, please? Now, we had a nice little shift of energy last week. The reading was looking pretty positive, but let's see what's up. Okay, yeah, very intellectual, very smart. So this could be stimulation of the mind, but it's also like very active and just extremely intelligent. So you could be looking at something with the right perspective. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So I always like the imagery of it. We have that adorable little monkey there. It's dressed up in a Shakespearean costume. It's holding the skull, contemplating its life. There's a typewriter in front of it. There's all sorts of mathematics behind it. So it does speak about like a strong intellect, being extremely smart. So this could go in a couple different ways. For a portion of you, you might be trying to learn things, learn new things, feed your brain with information. That could be really good. Another positive of this, it's similar to the Ace of Swords, where it's like, all right, I need to look at this clearly. I need to look at this in an honest, logical way. So for a portion of you, things you might be dealing with, you're taking a logical approach, which can be really nice. It's very honest and stern in a way as well. So this is pretty cool. Now, with all this mental acumen could come a very overactive mind. That's the only pitfall when this card comes out. So for a portion of you, whether you have a lot on your mind or whether you're overthinking something, I feel like you don't need to do anything too complex, but for some of you, it could just be like thinking, just extremely active. So you might need to distract yourself a little bit, but we're just going to put that down right there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up here one time for the beautiful Cappies, please. What's happening for my friends? And yeah, while we shuffle this up and get it ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. As I mentioned a couple of moments ago, the reading last week was pretty nice. It was titled An Unexpected Win. And remember, that energy could bleed over for a couple of weeks here. So, I mean, it could come in the way of money, work, career, even personal connections. To me, it just felt like something going better than you expected, or just like a lucky break. It was a really nice swing of energy. So we're going to hope to keep that going. But as you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the Cappies, please. What is going on late August? Moving out of Leo season towards Virgo. Okay. Page of Swords. So yeah, taking a cold, hard look at something here. Okay. So whether that's you or somebody else, it's like really inspecting something, or it's like something's under the microscope here. And we're starting off with that Page of Swords. We will talk about it though. Could be extremely strategic. Let's get a couple more. Very intriguing way to start. Knight of Swords. So this could be something picking up a lot of steam or maturing. And do like that. Notice they're both going in a similar direction. Let's get one more out here, then we'll really piece it together. So what do we got here for the Cappies? Thank you. And we have the beautiful, lovely High Priestess, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. And she's here for you, my friends. Totally different approach than the rest of this energy, but it kind of fits with what we were seeing last week. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. First look, first glance, elementally, it's an interesting mixture. Notice here on the front end, we have a double down of sword energy. Now, in divination, sword energy is air, and air is the mind. It's also communication. So we already see this vibe that we're picking up here about the intellect, about logic, looking at something in an intellectual way. could really be the key for various different situations, but it could also be how you communicate your wants and things you expect and various things. There could be a lot of chit chat with these two sword cards as well. But moving to the back end here, we have this High Priestess, water. So both of these elements are internal. We have the mind, we have the heart. She's also a card of mystery with a fast-moving energy next to her. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number 1, the Page of Swords. Now, for a portion of you, if you're connected to an air sign, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they're possibly showing up here twice. And the Page of Swords, as with all pages, they represent students. They also represent talks, communicating. Now, this one is a little bit defensive. So whether you're a little closed off to speaking with somebody about something or you're dealing with somebody, they seem a little detached, or they at least have their guard up with the Page of Swords. It will talk, it just has a guard up for one reason or another. But as most readers will tell you, this is a card of somebody looking at something. It's the Watcher of the Tarot deck. So whether you're keeping a situation, like keeping tabs on it, whether someone's keeping tabs on you, that could be very possible with the Page of Swords. It's like someone watching and inspecting. It's also very strategic, like someone starting to build a plan of some kind. So we'll see what's up with that. In its rougher sense, it's similar to the card that we have coming up next to it because they're both a little confrontational. So I don't want to say that this is going to be a rough situation or problem just yet. We just have to see how the energy shakes out. Now, interestingly, these two are part of the same family. They're both of the sword suit. We go from Page to the Knight. So this can represent a maturation for a portion of you if you're watching this about a connection. Like there's a clear gap in maturity where like you might be handling something a little more mature. There could be age difference, all that stuff. But the Knight of Swords is a little more action oriented than the Page. Out of all the knights, this is the fastest moving one. Knights in tarot represent action, making moves, doing things. It's not really sitting around, especially this one. The Knight of Swords is moving towards something like a rocket. So this is a very intense, passion-driven type of energy. Now, this can be really good for things moving forward or things improving or getting better. But at the same time, and you know, I'll say it every time, every card has positives and challenges. This could be a little too aggressive. This could be a card of someone that's doing a little too much or expecting a little too much. The Knight of Swords is not slowing down, so it could also be confrontational. This knight's riding off into battle. He's not joking around. Okay, so we'll see how it all plays out, whether it is just a flow of energy or if it's something a little deeper. But yeah, both of them have their swords up here, and we're going to want to look into it further. And again, they're both big cards of communicating. The Page and the Knight are both messengers, so we could be seeing some sort of talk here that we'll want to look into further. And especially with the sword suit, it could be of importance or it could be serious. I'm already picking that up. Now, when we get to the back end, we have the High Priestess. Beautiful, one of my favorite cards, the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. So in this time, whether you have an extra interest in spiritual topics, for a portion of you, if you're in tune, if you have a heightened empathy, it could be cranked up a little higher. You might be feeling things a little stronger than you normally do whenever the High Priestess shows up. Very empathetic. So just know, like, you might be feeling the energies of things going on around you when the High Priestess is here. Yes, it does link to Pisces. I link her to all water signs. So we have like the air sign, water sign dynamic happening. But to me, the High Priestess, although she's wise, although she is extremely spiritual, there's a secrecy to her. That's why it kind of fits with the reading we saw last week where there was unexpected energy. She's mysterious, she's secretive, she's unexpected or surprising. So we'll see what shows up with her, because like she's keeping some information to herself for one reason or another. But we'll just have to see how it all plays out. So let's get her back in her place. I want to dive deeper on all the Capricorn. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for the Cappies, please. What is happening for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that page. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to the Capricorns, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Page of Swords. What's going on? Thank you. Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is somebody, okay, with that Ten of Swords in reverse, they've been through a thing or two. Not saying this is definitely you. It could be somebody else, especially if you're having difficulties with a person. This could represent someone that has a little bit of baggage, or they've just recently been through something really tough and it's like still affecting them. That's why they could have their guard up. Listen, if you're having issues in communications with people, it could be trying to avoid a worst case scenario. I don't feel like it's bargaining per se, but I feel like it's like, all right, well, if we don't address this now, it could turn out really bad. Okay, so for some of you, I'm already picking it up. There could be a very serious talk that needs to be had. Now, if we are talking about strategy and planning, this is someone trying to avoid a worst case scenario. Like, okay, I want to make sure this doesn't end badly, so I need to plan this out right. So it's like a lot of energy is streaming through. And I said in the very early stages of this reading that there was a strong intellectual energy, and I'm picking it up again. A lot of mental activity. Now, the Ten of Swords in the upright, this is a very rough and tough type of vibe. It represents endings, it represents pain, it represents loss. The fact that it's in reverse, that's the way we want to receive this card, because it talks to me about either something that's happened in the past, or it could be, healing from these energies. So yeah, again, just to give it to you briefly, when I see the Page of Swords with the Ten of Swords in reverse, there is somebody that possibly has their guard up, has a little bit of baggage, has been through some painful things, and they're trying to not repeat them. This could also be someone that needs to get something off their chest, or they want to talk about something to avoid this Ten of Swords, where it's like, okay, well, if we don't address this now, we need to talk about this seriously. And then there's also the planning, like, all right, well, let's avoid this if possible. So lots of things happening. Let's move over to the Knight of Swords, see what's up, because this could be a little more action oriented, and we'll get into that High Priestess momentarily. So why is the Knight of Swords here for the Cappies? And there's just like an overabundance of sword energy so far. Okay, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is like really, really strong, powerful change. Okay, and I don't necessarily feel like this is someone having a change of heart. To me, it's like pushing. It's like, okay, well, this can't stay how it is. Like, there needs to be some big changes put into place. Or for some of you, this could just be changes that you're experiencing, whether they're internal or external. So let's talk about it a little deeper. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright is usually very grounded, super abundant, and it's a very independent card. Like, listen, don't worry about me. I'll do it on my own type of vibe. I don't need any help. When it shows up in reverse, this grounded energy gets flipped on its head. So underneath the Knight of Swords, it's like, okay, well, we got to change something, or something needs to change. So whether that's something you're experiencing right now, could be powerful shifts and changes, whether they're internally or in external areas of life. But to me, it also is somebody pushing for it. It's like, I'm not fighting against it. I'm going to go with the flow. So for a portion of you, if you've been experiencing various changes in this time, strong ones, Spirit might be saying, well, go with the flow. Don't fight against this. I mean, which is much easier said than done. Okay. I will also caution some of you to watch out for money situations, career situations, specifically with the Pentacle here under the Knight of Swords. Hopefully you're not having any conflict in that area, but watch the budget. Let's keep moving over to the High Priestess, though. I feel like that's a very simple, straightforward message. And yeah, there's a lot of talking too. I mean, there's problem solving, there's various things happening here. It's like, okay, well, you want to avoid this, so this needs to change. It's like one of those. So let's see what the High Priestess has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is our High Priestess here, please? What is she talking about? Nice. Okay, Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. For some of you, you might feel like there's someone you're connected to where they're not taking something as seriously as they should. I will also say that there's a really positive outcome here, which is really nice, but the Five of Wands in reverse to me is things starting to calm down. So if there is somebody where you feel like they're gaffing something off or they're not taking it seriously, they probably feel like, all right, well, maybe it's not as serious as it seems. It's like giving me that look, which might be driving you a little wild. But let's talk about it a little deeper. The Five of Wands, it's showing up in reverse. In the upright, you see those people, they're beating the crap out of each other with sticks. They're fighting. Yes, this could be a card of determination, but these people are beefing it out, right? In reverse, this is things calming down. This is things getting better. So again, like we had last week, an unexpected win or a very positive result that you don't quite see coming. I still feel like that could be the case for a lot of you, where this could be something that turns out surprisingly well. But I also got that intuitive message that you might feel like somebody's either one, not doing the things they should be doing, or they're not taking something as seriously as they should. Now, if that's not you, maybe this is how someone you're connected to is feeling about you. Like, all right, well, I wish Capricorn would take this a little more serious. Like, this isn't really a joke. It's like giving me that kind of energy. So it all kind of intertwines together. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we do have a lot of different themes happening. We have the Page of Swords with the Ten of Swords in reverse. I mentioned that, yes, this could be somebody that has some baggage, has some scars that they're still working through, and they would like to avoid this. So I feel like there is a serious talk that needs to happen or might be happening very soon, where it's like, all right, well, let's avoid this from happening. Let's address it now. Let's get on top of this now before it gets any worse. Another vibe I'm picking up here with the Page of Swords and Ten of Swords is someone just like with their guard up in a very, very big way. So that's just something to watch out for in this time. It might be someone being defensive. And there's also plans. Like, this is someone that doesn't want a bad result, but it's like, I'm planning just in case. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is a big change. Either someone's undergoing or like a really powerful change, or it's someone pushing for it, where it's like, okay, well, something's got to give here. Something has to change. Moving to the back end, we have the High Priestess with the Five of Wands in reverse. There's a very positive result at the end of this, and it could turn out better than you think it will, which is really nice. But aside from that, with this alignment, I was getting the intuition that you might feel like someone's not fighting for something as much as they should, or they're not taking something as seriously as they should, in which case this all intertwines together. So yeah, Capricorn, please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here for my Cappies, please. What is going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay. Shadow card time. What do we have in the shadows for the Cappies? Thank you. Okay, 10 of Wands. So I do think it's very important that you look after yourself, mind, body, and soul in this time, because this can be a burdened type of energy. Now, if we are to link this into the full part of the reading, and this part hit especially on the back end, just know that this burdensome energy, I wouldn't say that somebody is not taking something seriously. They're not taking it lightly when this energy is here, because this is someone that is bearing a burden. For a portion of you, maybe you're feeling like something's a little off kilter and you're bearing more of a burden than you should. But I also link this to health. Okay, so it's very important, especially if your energy feels a little zapped. Especially watch out for the areas of the body like the neck, back, and spine when this card shows up in the shadows. You might be holding tension there. You might need a good massage when this card is in the mix. But the thing I love about the Ten of Wands, even in the shadows, this is a card of determination. It's a card of no quit. So this is a nice encouragement from Spirit. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, specifically your physical vessel, when this shows up. So yeah, Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. And for the July subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for the August subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Gilded Tarot Royale, one of my favorite decks ever. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could time travel, would you rather go into the past to meet your ancestors, or would you rather go into the future to meet your descendants? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.